Rod Morris, what's your selection for tonight?
Well, I'm going for Winnem-Manly on form. I think they have the form on the board to be able to take this game tonight. But it's going to be a very hard game. I think Brothers will be fairly fired up for this game. I'm sure Ross Strudwick has some surprises for the Winnem-Manly side.
Well, just a few moments ago, Cole Thompson in the dressing room was able to speak with the rival wingers from Winnem-Manly, Terry Butler.
Terry, you've been in magnificent form lately. Your name's been bandied around in the press as a chance on the wing in the State of Origin side. How do you think your chances will be in the selection tonight?
Well, there's a lot of good ringers running around at the moment, especially in Sydney. They're firing up pretty well down there. Dale Shearer's going pretty well. Wayne Chalice, I haven't seen much of him lately, but apparently he's going pretty well. Myself personally, I think I've done enough to get there, but it's up to the selectors tonight and see how I go.
And Winnem-Manly's chance tonight in the Winfield Final?
Well, we're going on right through the State League, so I can't see why I shouldn't carry it through right through tonight. I think all the boys are keyed up for it, so I'm looking forward to it anyway.
Terry Butler on the wing for Winnem-Manly, and in fact a former Brothers player. Well, on the wing for Brothers is Smokin' Joe Kilroy.
Joe, the State of Origin side is picked tonight. Your name has been mentioned as a chance on the wing. How do you think you'll go?
I've got as good a chance as anyone else on the field. I think it's a matter of taking the opportunities as they come. But there's no real winger around that's in devastating form, so I'm just looking for a good steady game and I hope to minimise it.
Now welcome back to Lang Park. The kickoff has just been taken. Brothers running from the southern end. They're running with the breeze. Winnem-Manly running from the northern end of Lang Park. The central referee from North Queensland is Barry Gomersall. The Brothers side, only one run-on change from the programmed team, and that is Johnny Tapp comes from the reserves, and he goes into the back line, into the centres to partner Robbie Grogan, and Darren Morris has been dropped into the reserves for Brothers. Brothers are just short of the Winnem-Manly quarterway. Repeating, Brothers running with the breeze in this, the first quarter of the Winfield State League Final. You're watching the NEC Big Game, and it's coming to you live from Lang Park. The winner tonight taking away $12,000. The loser, $4,000. And this is Brothers through Henry Foster, putting the bomb into the air. Coming across for it is Wally Lewis. He can't take it cleanly. It's still loose on the ground. Peter Dawes will dive on it. It's a Winnem-Manly ball, just 2 metres out from their own territory. Dawes gives it away to Colin Scott. Tries to push away from Henry Foster. Feeds Dawes backing up. Dawes gets it away beautifully to Terry Butler, who short kicks ahead, trying to turn Tim Dwyer around. The bounce of the ball is going to favour Brothers, is it? Still loose on the ground, touched by Brothers. Wynnum have it through Terry Butler with 6 tackles to go. Wynnum are inside the Brothers quarterway. Dawes, away to Dowling. On to Wally Lewis. Through Kudusky. Picked up on the bounce by Brian Walsh. But we'll have a scrum. The pass travelled forward on the quarterway. Unintentionally forward, the ruling by Barry Gomersall. This is the NEC Big Game, live from Lang Park. Henry Foster loses it. Brian Walsh goes for it. So does Trevor Bailey, but Walsh has it. Winnem-Manly ball. So Henry Foster making a few handling errors at the moment. Bob Linder running out wide. Throws a loose pass. Jeff Burns will claim it. Referee Barry Gomersall rules he also knocked it on. So a knock on both ways. Winnem-Manly scrum win. Colin Scott comes into the line. Caught 10 metres short of halfway. There's a fight on in back play after that scrum broke up, which is still going on. A lot of pushing and shoving, but I don't think there's many effective blows being struck. Wally Lewis turns it to Bob Linder. Linder tried to go straight over the top of Henry Foster without success. Now the fight's starting to warm up a little bit as Greg Dowling and Jim Heary get into it. Meanwhile, in centre field, the referee is going to call play back for a knock-on as Brian Walsh goes storming towards the line. Meanwhile, this fight is still on. Terry Butler's also come in with Gary Smith. But Greg Dowling and Jim Heary are the two that are really taking each other to task. Now, eventually, it's broken up. And Barry Gomersall, as he always does, allows play to go on. He says, if I wanted to referee fights, I'd be at Festival Hall. And they've all got 5 minutes in the sin bin. Jim Heary and Gary Smith for Brothers, Greg Dowling and Terry Butler for Winner-Manly. All 5 minutes in the sin bin.
Well, I was expecting 5 rest this game to start with.
Trevor Bailey on to Pat Shepardson, loses it. Straight into the arms of Ian French it goes. So the Seagulls have possession back. Bob Lindner running hard down the blind side, trying to get past Kilroy. A lovely pass around the corner for Warren Green. He gets away from Tim Dwyer. They won't stop him. Warren Green goes in to score try number 1. Put it down to Bob Lindner, who started it with that magnificent break down the blind side of the ruck. Warren Green scores the first points of the Winfield State League Final. Lovely pass by Lindner as he was taken by Kilroy around the corner to Warren Green. He got away from the diving Tim Dwyer and in to score.
Yes, so Bob Linden's certainly in good form. This just shows his speed here and his ability to unload the pass around the corner as well. As you can see here, around the back of Joey Kilroy to Warren Green, and Warren Green has the pace to come on with it and score a good try. Up until that stage, neither team really had control of this game, but Winner-Manly now, I would think, would settle down a little bit, and I'm sure Brothers will come back.
When these two sides last met, it was in the Woolies final, in fact, and Warren Green kicked 6 out of 6 that day. Well, he started well tonight. No mistake about that kick. And Winner-Manly lead by 6 points to 0 with 1.5 minutes remaining until quarter time. Shepherdson's kickoff with the breeze is a deep one, taken by Lewis on the full in his in-goal area. Runs towards Grogan. Burns caught him, but he gives it back on the inside again to Bob Lindner. And away goes Lindner, chased from behind by Henry Foster, and eventually Johnny Tapp comes over the top to put him into touch. But Bob Lindner just relishing at the moment. Only 11 men in the defence, giving him that a little bit more room to move. David Green is the acting halfback. Back to Lewis. He'll attempt a field goal. And no goal. Waved away. So at quarter time in the Winfield State League Final at Lang Park, it's Winner-Manly 6, leading Brothers 0, and we'll return after this break. 3 metres into Wynnum territory. Bailey gives it to Foster. Foster trying to get around Mel Green. Wrapped up ball and all in a solid tackle by Brett French. Brothers near the quarterway. Shepardson. Into the air it goes. Waiting for it in the in-goal is Colin Scott. Not under any pressure. Takes it well. Trying to get out of the in-goal area, and does so. Fine work by the state fullback. That's the sign of a class player. He was under intense pressure, but able to get back into the field of play. This is Warren Green down the touchline, confronted by Kilroy, slowed down by Joe Kilroy, and the tackle eventually completed over the top by Roach. Wally Lewis decides to run from dummy half. Almost lost the ball, but at the last moment regained it. David Green onto Bob Lindner, steps around Jim Heary, still running, got away from Gary Smith, lost the ball in the tackle of Tim Dwyer, and a Brothers ball. Dowling decides to run. He's very involved in this game tonight, Dowling. He'll be a key player for Queensland next Tuesday evening against the Blues. Ian French is the dummy half. He also decides to run. Baumbur and Gary Smith are there to stop him. Lewis. A long pass back over the top to Mel Green. Another long pass. Floats it out for Terry Butler, who took it well. Butler is tackled, though, on halfway. Caught by Chris Roach. Dowling. Up the centre he goes. Foster has him. A one-handed pass back to Peter Dawes. Almost on half-time. In fact, there's the hooter. Wynnum will put it into the air. Wally Lewis calls for it. No, he's going to spin it out wide to Butler, and he'll put it into the air. But the kick goes into touch, and that is half-time. So in the 1985 Winfield State League Final, which you're watching live on Nine's Wide World of Sports, the half-time score is Winner-Manly 6 and Brothers 0, and we'll be back to Lang Park in just a moment.
Be very involved in defence and attack and take the ball up very strongly.
Peter Dawes gives it away to Mel Green. Final tackle coming up for Wynnum. They're 15 metres on Brothers' side of halfway. Lewis will use the kick. Into the air it goes. A high bomb. Tim Dwyer waits for it. Up he goes for it. Can't take it cleanly. Dawes will claim it. Winner-Manly ball. You're watching the NEC Big Game live from Lang Park, and here's a penalty going to Winner-Manly. Brothers not allowing the player to play the ball immediately, and consequently Winner-Manly get the justified penalty. Warren Green's kick is up and over. Wynnum go to a lead of 8 points to 0. 2 against the head. And that one on their own feed, getting penalised. David Green to take the quick tap free on half wide. Tony Kajewski barging into the brothers' defence to be met by Heary and Boomba. Greg Dowling again. Across the ruck he goes, just taking a settling tackle to allow Winner-Manly to mount their attack, and this is Linder running back across the ruck and running hard. Bob Linder, a lovely pass out to Ian French. French trying to cut back infield, away to Terry Butler. Oh, that's as good a try as you'll see. That could be the try to wrap up the Winfield State League Final. And a lot of that work done initially by Greg Dowling, just taking that settling tackle to allow Winner-Manly to mount their defence, and as they run that angle so well. And there's Bob Linder coming back across the ruck onto Ian French, crashing through the brothers' tacklers and inside to Terry Butler, backing up brilliantly. Winner-Manly in to score a try that takes them to a lead of 12-0 with the kick to come.
Well, once again, it's Bob Linder that makes the run and feeds the ball out to Ian French. You can see Ian French's strength here. He just busts back inside these two defenders and pass the ball back inside to Terry Butler. Always there for Terry Butler, always backing up on the inside, always in the right place at the right time, and just going around for a nice try. But I was just thinking before that, the brothers were doing a very good job holding Winner-Manly out. And if they could have got to the end of the third quarter and Winner-Manly not scoring any tries, they may have gave them a chance in the fourth quarter. But now I think that...
we have time about this kick. Back pushes it wide, unlike Warren Green to miss one from such a position. So Winner-Manly lead brothers by 12 points to 0. Caught away his tackle. Dan Staines holds it up for Keith G. G spins out of the defence, tries to barge his way past Wally Lewis. There's no gap there. 12 metres from the line, it's played back. This is Gary Smith. Smith is 8 metres out. The final tackle coming up for brothers. Bailey gives it on to Foster. There's the little bomb. Up they go for it. Players from both sides scrambling for it. Referee indicates that it was forced down by Winner-Manly, and we'll have a drop out from underneath the Lewis. This is Ian French, short part for his brother Brett French. Out wide to Terry Butler. Butler sprinting towards the corner, steps back inside and held on to just 1 metre short of the line. In a last-ditch tackle, he was put to ground. Ball goes loose, and a penalty goes to Winner-Manly. Penalty to Winner-Manly. Brothers ruled to be offside. So Wynnum will get the penalty just 2 metres out from the line, leading by 12 points to 0. With just under 10 minutes remaining, David Green takes the quick tap, trying to burrow his way over. Bob Linder goes in to be the dummy half to Lewis, holds the pass up for Mel Green. Back to Ian French, then to Lewis. There's a gap out wide. Ball goes away to Brad Morgan, then on to Warren Green. He's in to score. The gap was always out wide. Wally Lewis knew it. It was just a matter of pushing it out as quickly as they possibly could. Warren Green scores the try that certainly wraps up the Winfield State League Final. Here it is again. Lewis, anxious to get it out wide, gives the pass over to Brad Morgan. He quickly got rid of it to Warren Green, and he's in to score in the corner.
Well, it certainly shows the strength of Wally Lewis here. He's caught in the tackle and is still able to unload the pass and throw a long pass over the top to Brad Morgan. And Brad Morgan just...
Up the blind side goes David Green. Played back for Butler. Then given away to Dawes, to Dowling. Back to Ian French. Greg Dowling again to Lewis. Little grubber kick through for Brian Walsh chasing. Joe Kilroy snaps it up. And that's the sort of tactic that brothers should have been employing instead of just the continual bomb. The occasional little grubber kick through, which just can catch your defensive side by surprise. So exactly 1 minute remaining, and there's a very happy Des Morris. Let's hope that Des is smiling with his broader smile and about this time next Tuesday night.
I certainly have a use for Queensland's sake. I'm sure the players that have been selected for Queensland are putting a wholehearted effort. The New South Wales side appears to be a very good one. And I'm sure this contest is going to be very, very close.
And we'll have that State of Origin side for you in our wrap-up at the end of this game. Darren Morris inside the Wynnum-Manly territory, and that's the last tackle, the changeover of possession. Wynnum to play it. Dowling away to Lewis, to Brad Morgan. Dummy half is Bob Linder. Tackled immediately inside the last 10 seconds as the crowd starts the countdown. David Green gives it away to Greg Dowling. Up the centre of the ruck he goes, as he's done all night, Greg Dowling, and there's the hooter. It's all over. Congratulations to Winner-Manly and their coach Des Morris on a superb win tonight. A tremendous example it was of rugby league from a great side. Superb attack and a defence that was able to keep brothers scoreless. They're a tremendous side, Winner-Manly. They're one of the best in Australia, if not the best in Australia. And tonight, convincing winners of the Winfield State League, defeating brothers by 16 points to 0. They take away the $12,000 as the winners of the Winfield State League for the second year in a row. And brothers, the losers, take $4,000. The full-time score, Winner-Manly 16, defeating brothers 0. We'll take this break and then come back to announce our man of the match, our city and country player of the series, and also the Queensland team for the first State of Origin match for this year. Long odds on to make it a clean sweep. Now our Canterbury man of the match, who receives the outfit of Canterbury leisure wear plus 4 points towards the city player of the Winfield State League series. And Rod Morris has made the choice, but I agree with him wholeheartedly. Our man of the match for tonight is the Winner-Manly prop forward, Greg Dowling. There he is. Greg Dowling, what a superb game he had tonight. Greg Dowling is our Canterbury man of the match. He takes away the 4 points and the outfit of Canterbury leisure wear. Well, that brings us to our city and country players of the Winfield State League series. First of all, the city player, and it's been a great effort by Trevor Gilmeister from Northern Suburbs, because his team didn't make the semi-finals, and teams in the semi-finals and finals had the extra games to add points to their total. He had to sit there and sweat it out on his 14 points, but he was able to win the award, so congratulations. Our city player of the series is Trevor Gilmeister from Norths. The country player of the Winfield State League series was Peter Gill. He's away with the Queensland country team, which left today for their tour to the Northern Territory, Western Australia, South Australia and Victoria. But both Trevor Gilmeister and Peter Gill will be receiving their prizes of the magnificent NEC Stereo Vision colour TV sets, the 26-inch TV from NEC. Who did you give the other points to tonight, Rod? 4 went to Greg Dowling.
Bob Linder had 2 and Peter Dawes had 1. They really did work hard, all those 3 players, and we really had an effect on the game.
So congratulations, our city player of the series, Trevor Gilmeister. Our player of the match tonight, Greg Dowling, and our country player of the Winfield State League was Peter Gill.